what is the idea of a hot wife? That's something we're going to talk about today in relating to a cuckold relationship. And as far as women wanting to be a hot wife, and this projected idea that a husband may put on his wife to be a hot wife. Now, the Urban Dictionary basically says a hot wife is a woman who feels like she can have the sexual freedom to go out in her marriage and seek other men for her pleasure. But we're going to really be talking about it in relating to a cuckold relationship because if you watch most videos, that's really what it relates to. I'm talking about today about the not cuckold wife. Now, this video is going to be for both men and women. I usually am addressing men when I talk about cuckold fantasies, cuckold lifestyles, cuckold fetish, and trying to explain how to either manage it, work it into the marriage, or figure out just how to deal with it in life if you are a man that has a serious cuckold fetish. And this can really work its way into a relationship and cause quite a bit of destruction if it is played out in a way that a wife feels she is being pressured to get involved with it or doesn't really understand it and gets turned off by it. So, I've gotten many letters from women recently talking about being in relationship with a husband or even getting married and finding out that their husband either watches porn, that their husband is wanting to use this in fantasy in the bedroom, or that it's gotten to the point where he's pushed her to try it. She has tried it, and it's had some disastrous effects on the relationship. Now, on the submissive cuckold man and some of my other videos that I've talked about, I have gotten some comments that, oh, there are some women who are interested in being a hot wife or they want to be in this type of relationship. And so I'm not saying that there aren't people who engage in cuckold relationships. I am mostly talking about women who get in a relationship with a man that they don't know that their boyfriend or husband has this fetish and they don't really want to be involved with it. Or if they do, they want to be involved with it on a limited basis. So that's really what we're going to focus on today. Now, I was again sent a couple of letters, and I'm going to read a couple of them to you so that we can talk about this problem that is happening in some marriages and figure out how to resolve these issues. So, the first letter I received is from Jenny, and she wrote, I love my husband. I want to make him happy, and I even indulge in his fantasy about me being with another man. But recently, he is pushing me more and more to try it. I feel like if I do cross that line, I will end up resenting him. What should I do? Now, the reason I picked out this letter is because it happens to be a theme in many letters that I have received from women. This idea that they want to please their husbands, maybe they are having fun with it in the bedroom. They're talking about it in fantasy, but then their husband gets this idea that because she's turned on in bed, turned on this by this fantasy, that maybe she really wants to try it in real life. And that's where the problem starts because he begins to project these feelings onto her or come up with this idea that, she likes this and she likes that. I can tell that she probably would want to have sex with another man. I don't even have to be there. She can just tell me about it. Why wouldn't she like that? Now, I'm not just speaking off the top of my head. I've actually worked with many men who have told me this as well, that they begin to have a blur in what is reality and what is not. And what I'm telling you right now is that to get a hold of this fetish or to manage it, there has to be this communication where if your wife says she's not comfortable, that means she's not comfortable. Because she may be enjoying the fantasy in bed and at the time you're doing it, that's where it ends. And to continually push her to try to do more is really just going to turn her off and eventually cause a problem in the marriage. So for Jenny, I would say to her that don't do something that you don't want to do. If this continues to be a problem, I would definitely seek counseling. I think you and your husband need to talk about this further and figure out how to manage this fetish. So the second letter is from Peggy. She says, my husband and I tried the cuckold experience and I'm open-minded, but I really don't want to do it again. But he keeps pushing me to the point now where I'm getting turned off altogether and I'm totally frustrated. So this is one of the scenarios that happens as well. A woman will say, okay, I'll go ahead and I'll try it. And then there are some disastrous effects that happen afterwards because she no longer wants to do it. She felt like she was pushed into doing it. Now she feels resentment. She's frustrated. And before it gets to that point where you actually cross the line and do something, it's best to really speak to a counselor again about it and work through the issues. Because what can be fantasy doesn't always mean that it should be reality. Other women in this situation has said to me, why does my husband want me to sleep with another man? Doesn't he love me? It's a very strange concept to me that he wants another man to be inside of me. I don't really understand. And what I've explained to men is they really don't understand your cuckold fetish and it getting to that point. Now, the danger here, working with some couples that have been in cuckold relationships, is sometimes the women fall in love with the bull and they end up leaving their husband. Other times they form such resentment that it's hard to get back into the marriage. And for some of them, they feel bad about themselves. They actually start to not feel good about themselves because they realize they didn't really want to do it. They were pushed into the situation, and it's hard to come back from that. So, if you're a woman in this scenario, don't do something you don't want to do. Talk to your husband openly about it and get help so that the two of you don't end up destroying your marriage. Please leave your comment below if you have any other questions. As always, send me your emails. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and as you know, I believe everyone deserves to have a healthy sex life, and so do you.